Both.
So for the total certified firms, you're saying that we certified 11,382.
As of the end of 25.
Yes. And in the city of New York,
Oh.
how many firms total are registered with the city of New York? I imagine probably hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, I mean, we will circle back with you on this specific number, on that specific number for that specific question.
Because that already is too little. 11,382 firms for the city of New York that has a $118 billion budget. 30% of that is going to contracting. That is an abysmal amount of money that is being, our taxpayer dollars go straight back into the hands of white people.
White people. Did she just say that? Money going back to the hands of white people? White people. That sounds very racist, doesn't it? Like this is somebody on a city council in New York City complaining about money going back to white people.
Well, I can say that all that come in terms of MWBEs that potential MWBEs looking to be certified, those applications are taken in and processed. But if you have a specific question regarding that specific number relative to the larger number, we're happy to consider it and provide you with a response.
Yeah, we're going to have to get certifications up for all of the MWBEs, but especially for looking at your breakdown of certified firms, there's more non-minority, so white women-owned firms, 26%, than Asian.
Oh my God, there's 26% white women-owned firms in New York City. Huh. Anyone want to guess what the percentage of white women breakdown is, in New York City. You want to think, do you think white people or white women make up 26% of New York City? I mean, probably not 26% white women, but, definitely New York City is more than 26% white. Mm-hmm.
Owned and Hispanic owned and Native American owned that are certified. So you're going to have to get the certification numbers up so that we actually have people of color who are also certified, not just white women.
Oh, so not just white women. So since it's 26% white women, to her, that's too many. Too many white women, 26%. Anyway, I saw this. I was like, I didn't know where to put this in the show, so I figured I was going to start with this video just because, I will say that I did tweet out to the Attorney General in charge of Civil Rights Division, Harmeet Dillon, and say, please investigate this. Because this sounds like race-based contract determinations. Yes, the racism is strong in that one. Yeah, wish they would explain this white race is. Yeah. Well, the only thing that Flash ever said that I agree with is woke white women ruin everything. Yeah, well, they do. They do. Oh, hell, everybody. I apologize. My apologies to everybody. I was in Joe's chat and I was talking to What the F about this thing that happened with Tara Reid and the hotels. And as someone who did construction in Chicago for over 20 years, building high rises, hotels, apartments, condos, hospitals, all types of stuff, built numerous hotels, including that Doubletree Hotel in Rosemont that they were talking about where this happened. And I said, hotels all have cameras on the bar monitoring stuff for this specific reason to make sure. And they also do it to track if someone's giving an ID, they can actually, some of the hotels like a Hyatt Regency O'Hare, the camera system is so good when someone hands an ID and credit card to someone behind the bar, they can actually see the ID and credit card and see the number and all the stuff to make sure, that's how they can bust people that are using, credit card fraud. Credit card doesn't match. If the bartender's in on it, they can track that stuff. But anyway, so that's where I was. I apologize. And let's see, who was first tonight? Catherine K was first. What's up, Catherine K? And then Wooden was second. What's up? Cannibalist Wizard was third. Bella so round, so sleepy. SB Farmer's here too. C. Wilkie, what's up? Audra's here. Miss Hacker, nice to see you. You just heard about the shooting outside the White House? Yeah, it's brutal. Hey, Jay Marco's here. What's up? And then this guy Jim's like, hey, sorry, I was in Joe's chat. Ank's here. What's up, Ank? Yes, I did. I lost track of time. What's up, Lisa? Good to see you. Ank. Time is on your side. HJ Remy's here. What's up? Nice to see you. Trumpinator's here. Hello. Woodtick Mike. What's up, buddy? Steve Hilliard's here too. Great to see you. Gundam Zig's here. Angela, what's up? Happy early Thanksgiving. Yes, Trumpinator, what's up? I am Bob's here. Michelle's here. What's up, Michelle? Great to see you. Did I miss anybody? Marjorie, what's up? Good to see you. All right. Yeah, so you've never seen a black human either? Oh, Better Man, what's up? South Carolina in the house. What's up, Better Man? Great to see you. So yeah, so if you're new here, the way this works is we do like a 2.5 hour show unless we hit the goal, and for every $100 that we get in total across every platform, I have links pinned in the chat, and there's also QR codes for PayPal and Cash App, and there's also a link for something called Ko-Fi that you can make tips to, and then Rumble rants, YouTube super chats, memberships if you become a member on Rumble or YouTube, or if you gift a membership on Rumble or YouTube. For every $100 in total, I add it all up. I do the math. I have calculators and the abacus, and I take care of everything. We extend the show by an hour, and for every 100, it's an additional hour. So the show could be 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours. It all depends on the chat, you guys, what you want. And then we have Bellavision, that if any individual donation comes in for $25 or greater, we activate Bellavision. Or once we hit 50 in total, Bellavision is activated for the evening. When did I raise my hourly rate? This is the third show now. And it's not actually a raise. This is just a restoration to what it was originally. It was 100, and then on my birthday, I lowered it to 75. And then I just never raised it back from there. My niece, when she was little, was like, I'm not white, I'm colored like a paper bag. Did Joe make his $150 goal? Yeah. Actually, see, Joe does 150. Joe's is actually way more than that because he does 15 yellow super chats, which are $10 each. So those are 150. Then there's all the other super chats that come in. So Joe probably made, I mean, I could actually go look and see what he made, but he probably made 300. Hey, Kelly, what's up? Great to see you. All right. So we shall see. So we're going to get into the first story. And unfortunately, for anybody who was over on Joe's show, I apologize because you probably already saw this story. Yeah, Joe made 300 plus easy over there. And that's for 30-minute call-in show. So, I mean, I give you a whole, for every 100, I give you a whole extra hour of show. So here's what was happening today. All right. People don't know. We're going to, holy shit. Secret Service tells me 2 National Guard members have just been shot near the White House. All right. This guy says, reports of a shooting in Washington, D.C. There's another Jim out there, stole my identity. Yeah. And this guy says, I was there, close enough to smell the gunpowder. It was bad. 2 National Guards shot and someone in civilian clothes down. Yeah, here's the National Guardsman. It looks like he was shot in the head. Those are USS, those are Secret Service because they're so close to the White House. Tim Pool says, National Guard. Oh, yeah. I tried keeping Joe up to date on the shooting. Then I remembered he's like, Bronca Ghetto Channel exists when money's involved. Yeah, and that's just like the reporting I saw said that at least one was shot in the head at point blank range. Like the guy just all of a sudden pulled out a gun and shot him. And originally, I have to admit, I was my money originally when I first saw the story this afternoon when it happened. The shooter wasn't trans. I don't know. I thought the shooter they were saying was an Afghan guy. I originally, when I saw the picture and what would happen, my assumption was it was cartel related because, they were putting, hits out on the guard and out on, green lighting the guard, green lighting, ICE and CBP. So I assumed that that's what it was. But I guess, maybe they just, nominated the Muslim Brotherhood as terrorists. So maybe this guy did it for that reason, if he's a Muslim or who knows. An image of one of the guardsmen who was shot near the White House has been released. The attack comes just days after 6 prominent Senate Democrats ambiguously claimed in a video that President Trump was forcing the military to break the law. Oh. Where's your mama? Go find your mama. Oh. Multiple National Guards soldiers have been shot near the White House. What's up?
They're going to bed.
What?
They're going to bed.
All right.
Hey, they're going to bed.
All right. 1 sec. I'll be right back. Oh, sorry. I might have to. Yeah, grandson invasion. The goblin has arrived. Yes. Unfortunately, he wants Bella, so I might have to let him take Bella for a while. So, Bella, you want to go lay in bed with James? No, he doesn't want to go. Multiple National Guard soldiers have been shot near the White House. At least 3 casualties have been reported. The shooters reportedly still on the loose. Law enforcement's racing from all throughout the city. So this was like early reporting. National Guardsman has been shot point blank range in the head near the White House just moments ago. He's in critical condition. Bella. The Muslims. It's the Muslims. Well, when I saw the picture of the guy, I was like, I thought it was like, man, it's either a Muslim or some kind of Hispanic gentleman. What it looked like. This is horrifying photo of Secret Service treating National Guard who was shot in the head. This is infuriating. This is what happens on our streets and Capitol. Democrats pretend there's no problem. Deploy the troops now. That's some Durka Durka yelling Aloha snack bar. Those unvetted Afghans Biden insisted on bringing over. Yes, it was. Let me do this real quick. I had some stuff that came in late that I bookmarked. All right, here we go. Update. What we know about the D.C. National Guard shooter, Ramanamalula Lakawala. He's an illegal alien from Afghanistan. He overstayed a visa granted to him by Joe Biden under Operation Allies Welcome on 9/8/2021. He was born February 9th, 1996. Last known address is in Washington State, thousands of miles from D.C. They stripped the guy naked before throwing him on a cart. Well, that's like standard operating procedure. Yeah, Biden flew him over personally. Yeah, it seems like one of those 100,000 unvetted Afghans Joe imported while leaving Americans and loyal Afghans behind. Yeah, like if he was stabbed up or shot up or anything like that, they generally start cutting clothes off to find the holes, and that they'll do that. Oh wow, look at this. We got from Unintelligent Design. This is from my friend Liam over in Australia. Thank you very much, Liam. He's a comic book creator, and he does comic books, several comic books. He did one called Dino King, that's really good, and another one called Xenomorph, or Xenotype. Is it Xenomorph or Xenotype? I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm not So maybe if you want read a good comic book, 'cause it's like a manga style. It's called Dino King, and I believe Dino King 2 is in the works. So thank you, Liam, for the 20. Yes. And so with that, we are now, $80 away from the first additional hour and $30 away from Bellavision. Well, thank you. Don't let me derail the show just supporting. No, I know. It's fine. They were looking for explosive boom booms. That's the other thing. That looks like a koala to you. Yeah. Hey, Jay Liebgott, what's up? Nice to see you. They could have been looking for IEDs. They could have been looking for IEDs too. Yes. And this is the person you can see. He's like he's got socks on. It looks like they cut the shirt off. Looking the beard and everything and the hair. I was like, man, is that and you couldn't really tell if it's a Muslim or a Hispanic at first. And there was reporting last week that the cartels and them whatever, they put out a hit on things. So who knows? I mean, you never know. But the bottom line was this was not just some random violence. You knew that by the way it was reported, that this was a targeted attack, that it was purposeful. All right. Yeah. And then like this, you got just a day ago, Jasmine Crockett declared that the National Guard helping with mass deportations are targeting people of color in their slave patrols. Control, intimidate, and terrorize colored people. This is what incitement looks like. Yeah, so This is what old Slavey Crockett had to say.
I'll say it again. Donald Trump's mass deportation system makes me think of what a modern day slave patrol would look like. Slave patrols were armed groups empowered by the government to control, intimidate, and terrorize people solely based on color. That's what's happening now. Donald Trump is sending mass agents without warrants into communities of color to terrorize the people who live there. And the reason that I want to make sure that I draw out this link, because we heard Maxine say that black and brown is coming together. I'll say it again.
Wow.
Donald Trump.
Black and brown are coming together. So wouldn't that just be like dark black or dark brown? What would that be if it comes together? Hmm. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Well, like Dad Republican says, oh, here comes the turn down the temperature, the predictable turn down the temperature post. None of the comments you are posting are actual calls for violence. They are all angry calls wanting accountability for people who created the seditious videos. And they are justified in their anger. Why shouldn't they be? Meanwhile, you're ignoring the fact that leftists are celebrating on Blue Sky again. Yeah, that's right. They're celebrating on Blue Sky. You remember how they were celebrating about Charlie Kirk? You know, they're doing the same thing here. They're talking about, these guys got kirked and they think it's all funny. All she has is race to complain about. Yes, yes. Is that a bun on her real? No, that's some rope that she got at the boat store. And that, yes. They would be called, oh yeah, that's what they call it. Nagra? That's the whole horsetail. Why stop at a ponytail? Color racists won't address people by race. They use color. Rope. Mm-hmm. And say, oh yeah, and Ratio's David French. Yeah, because David French posted something like, oh my God, look at these people are saying all this stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, here's Laura Logan. Says F. Alyssa Sluttykins, the traitor, and every person in power. Sluttykins, one of the seditious six, suggested a few days ago that the National Guard would just start randomly shooting at Americans. She knew it was a lie, and she said it anyway. That's what Sluttykins said, that the National Guard was going to start shooting people.
Look at these videos coming out of places like Chicago. It makes me incredibly nervous that we're about to see people in law enforcement, people in uniform military get nervous, get stressed, shoot at American civilians. It is a very, very stressful situation for these law enforcement and for the communities on the ground. So it was basically a warning to say, like, if you're asked to do something, particularly against American citizens, look at these videos coming out of places like.
So it was a warning. It was a warning to them, telling them that they were going to get shot, I guess. She knew. Maybe she participated. Maybe she was part of this. I don't think they really want that to happen. I mean, the bottom line, the problem though, Hank, is that if in a true war of races, let's call it, between the races, certain races, I think, would not participate. A lot of people of certain races would not participate. They would feel bad and say that, oh, we can't do this. No. And they would just become like victims. They would be the people that you see riding on the train, not paying attention when the black guy comes up to stab them, or, that they don't want to, fuck, man, I'm going to get in trouble here. They don't want to be called racist, so they wouldn't want to participate in the war, even though they would come to kill them. Yeah, that's them. White liberals, yes. So people use color instead of addressing the races of people. They aren't violating the Constitution. Mm-hmm. Just do it. Mm-hmm. Wear a mask. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So like Tim Pool says, they knew what they were doing. These people did this. This is not what you signed up for, because they started this whole thing. They got billboards. They found out. Tim Pool and some other people tracked down who the people were behind that video. And believe it or not, there's a whole group of people. It's a whole thing. It's, these people are calling for this stuff. It's they got a fundraiser from Act Blue taking, for donations to purchase the billboards to intimidate ICE agents from doing their job. Mark Kelly asked for donations for him to fight Trump, also using Act Blue. Act Blue needs a full audit. It does. Yeah, you disgusting ghoul. 2 of these heroes were just shot in broad daylight. The guard has saved countless lives, backed up by evidence which you are clearly too stupid to notice. They're American patriots, because here you got this Jane Meyer, New Yorker, says, this is so tragic and unnecessary. These poor guardsmen should have never been deployed. I live in D.C. and watched as they had virtually nothing to do but pick up trash. It was a political show, and at what cost? Yeah, so that's what they're saying. Like, oh my God, why were they there? Why were they there? Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, because here you go. MS Now, which used to be MSNBC, Ken Delaney, and just after 3 p.m. on the shooting says, of course, there's so much controversy happening in the United States right now with ICE and who are also wearing uniforms and wearing masks. So they're, we don't know, people walking around with uniforms in an American city. There's some Americans that might object to that. And so apparently this shooting has happened. So basically they're justifying the shooting if there's somebody in a uniform that's okay to shoot him. This is how this guy has not been fired already. Is a problem.
But of course, there's so much controversy happening in the United States right now with ICE, who are also wearing uniforms and wearing masks, and so there's you don't know people walking around with uniforms in an American city. There are some Americans that might object to that, and so apparently this shooting has happened.
Wow! Apparently this shooting has happened. Apparently. Wow. So at least 2 National Guard members shot near the White House, suspect shot and in custody. Yeah. You know who else used to be slaves, Steve? Anyone who's a Slav, who's a Slavic. Anyone from, Poland, Eastern Europe, Ukraine, all over there, all the Slavs. That's where the name slave comes from the Slavs. So they were all slaves too. But you don't hear them crying. Antifa has their uniform. Yeah, exactly. For most of my early life, I thought Cicero was just a name of some Porky Pig's son. If the guy gets fired, it'll be because he went off script of ICE and black bloc stealing people off the street. Yeah, Irish also. Yeah, they were white slaves. Yeah. Can we claim uniform phobia? Maybe. Yeah. I guess that's these liberals want our soldiers to die when they fight in other countries only. Yeah. And that's me, Yugoslavia. See? That's what I'm saying. You don't hear people crying. I think maybe they should. Maybe they should cry. Maybe they should cry. Wow. 2 National Guards members were shot near the White House. The White House is reportedly on lockdown. President Trump's currently at Mar-a-Lago for Thanksgiving, has been briefed. To be fair, the Slavs are too busy chugging vodka like it's air. It's cool to be a victim. No, it's not, man. It's not. No, because that's all you rely on, man. Per DC police, 1 suspect is in custody. The unidentified suspect was reportedly shot and taken to the hospital. Well, we know that he's identified. His name is Ramalama Ding Dong or something. Secret Service tells me 2 National Guards members have just been shot near the White House. Metro DC Police Department confirms they're on the scene of a shooting at 17th and I, which, if I'm not mistaken, isn't 18th and I where the barracks are for the Marine Corps barracks? Isn't that 18th and I, or is that 18th and E? I think it's 18th and I, isn't it? Trump did a speech 20 minutes ago. I'll have to look for that. If anyone can find it. Trumpinator, go find me a link for Trump's speech that he just gave 20 minutes ago and put it in the chat. I'm sorry, I don't mean to give you work. I'm sorry. The Metropolitan Police Department in DC confirms they're on the scene of a shooting. Yeah. FBI is on the scene. The FBI is engaged in assisting in the investigation. Please pray for them. The shooting comes barely a week after the seditious 6 attacked the military and urged them to defy Trump's orders. Trump deployed the National Guard to the Capitol to quell violence. Democrats have been attacking Trump's decisions to deploy the Guard to cities across the country. Senator Kissy Sluttykins, one of the seditious 6 on Sunday, claimed that National Guardsmen are going to start shooting civilians. Trump released a statement after shooting and said, "This animal that shot the 2 National Guardsmen with both being critically wounded and now in 2 separate hospitals is also severely wounded, but regardless will pay a very steep price. God bless our great National Guard and all the military and law enforcement. These are truly great people. I, as President of the United States, and everyone associated with the office of presidency, am with you. Trump said on Truth Social. Oh, is it right here? Never miss teaching moment. Billboards urging. Oh. You DM'd me the speech on X. All right, I'll get it. What is this? What is this? What is this? Yeah, okay. I'll pull that. We'll pull that to the side here. I'll pull that to the side. All right. All right. Let me get this on X. Let me find the speech. Why do I not see it? Did you send it to there it is. All right, I got it. All right.
My great fellow
Thank you, I got it.
Americans, earlier today, on the eve of the Thanksgiving holiday, 2 members of the National Guard serving in Washington, D.C., were shot at point-blank range in a monstrous ambush-style attack just steps away from the White House. They'd been deputized as part of the most successful public safety and national security mission in the history of our nation's capital, the D.C. Safe and Beautiful Task Force, which has achieved an unprecedented reduction in violent crime and crimes of all type. This heinous assault was an act of evil, an act of hatred, and an act of terror. It was a crime against our entire nation. It was a crime.
It was a crime. It's a crime. And I want to say, Catherine K. gave $10 on PayPal. Thank you very much, Catherine K. So with that, we are now $70 away from the first additional hour and just $20 away from Bellavision. You love Trump? I love Trump too. Trumpinator, is this the YouTube? Is this thing? Thank you, Catherine K. Speech hit. Yep. And you had to go watch it. Ah, crap. What happened to my phone? All right. Trumpinator. Thank you, Trumpinator.
Against humanity. The hearts of all Americans tonight are with those 2 members of the West Virginia National Guard and their families. The love of our entire country is pouring out for them, and we are lifting them up in our prayers. As we are filled with anguish and grief for those who were shot, we're also filled with righteous anger and ferocious resolve. As President of the United States, I am determined to ensure that the animal who perpetrated this atrocity pays the steepest possible price. I can report tonight that based on the best available information, the Department of Homeland Security is confident that the suspect in custody is a foreigner who entered our country from Afghanistan, a hellhole on earth. He was flown in by the Biden administration in September 2021 on those infamous flights that everybody was talking about. Nobody knew who was coming in. Nobody knew anything about it. His status was extended under legislation signed by President Biden, a disastrous president, the worst in the history of our country. This attack underscores the single greatest national security threat facing our nation. The last administration let in 20 million unknown and unvetted foreigners from all over the world, from places that you don't want to even know about. No country can tolerate such a risk to our very survival. An example is Minnesota, where hundreds of thousands of Somalians are ripping off our country and ripping apart that once great state. Billions of dollars are lost, and gangs of Somalians come from a country that doesn't even have a government, no laws, no water, no military, no nothing. As their representatives in our country preach to us about our Constitution and how our country is no good. We're not going to put up with these kind of assaults on law and order by people who shouldn't even be in our country.
Get him
We
out.
must now re-examine every single alien who has entered our country from Afghanistan under Biden, and we must take all necessary measures to ensure the removal of any alien from any country who does not belong here or add benefit to our country. If they can't love our country, we don't want them. America will never bend and never yield in the face of terror. And at the same time, we will not be deterred from the mission these service members were so nobly fulfilling. That is why tonight I can announce that I have directed the Department of War to mobilize an additional 500 troops to help protect our capital city.
Good.
We will make America totally safe again, and we will bring the perpetrator of this barbaric attack to swift and certain justice if the bullets going in the opposite direction haven't already done that. During this time of the year, when we gather at home with loved ones, these two patriots were wearing the uniform of our country, patrolling the streets of our capital. They had taken a selfless oath to defend our nation against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And that is exactly what they were doing when they were gunned down in a savage attack. I want to express my extraordinary gratitude to every member of the United States military who is deployed tonight at home and abroad. I also want to thank the Secret Service and the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department for their work today. This Thanksgiving, I ask every family to say a prayer for the two great heroes who were so horribly shot, and for their loved ones. Please say a prayer. May God bless them and comfort them, and may God bless and protect the United States of America. Thank you and good night.
Wow. So that was President Trump talking about what happened. And then the Post has a story about it. Joe didn't forget you tonight. I know he didn't forget me tonight, and I appreciate Joe didn't. Raid, yes, Raid. Get in here, everybody. Nice to see you. All the cultists are here. Yes, thank you. Did that Trump speech get put on all the networks? I know it was on Fox, and they held it live. Hey, what's up, Anthony? Great to see you. Welcome to all the cult members. Yes, only sidearms. I read somewhere or something about that one of them had a knife, like, and they had to use a knife to defend themselves. So I don't know, you know. Sleep better tonight with Trump in office. He loves his country and us. I mean, sure seems that way, doesn't it? Sure seems like he loves us. It sure seems that way. Like it could be it could be that way. It could be whatever. But a major had a knife, waited for reload, and charged. Oh, okay. Man. I was wondering if they were. Come on, everybody, hit the like button for Jim. That's right, AK Lock Cameras. Check it out. Why aren't they armed? I mean, is that something probably because they were worried about somebody shooting somebody? I think the major had a knife, actual guard had weapons, but the shooter stole the first guard's weapon? Really? Oh my God, that is fucked up. Yeah, all my fellow cultists need to show Jim some love. Yeah, I don't know. So two National Guard troops shot near the White House. This is That's gutsy. It is. Hey, the Flyers won. Good for the Flyers. Many were issued sidearms. Shooter had a wheel gun. The shooter had a wheel gun? What, like a 357 or 38? Really? Most National Guard are sent out with clubs, not weapons, for political reasons. Yeah. Man. Man, oh man, oh man. You also heard the guard stabbed was a female, per Sean Spicer. Wow. I want to go back because Joe mentioned something. Joe did some work with back in, when Joe works for the government. We'll just put it that way. And he said where he was that he saw 13,000 Afghans come in 7 days. It was insane. So there's no way they vetted the people properly, bringing in 13,000 in 7 days. We saw, you guys remember seeing the videos with the planes and all the people climbing on them, and 99 stories, our guesses at this point. Yeah. National Guard can be armed, reservists not so much. If they're not armed, it's a failure. A crazed gunman shot 2 National Guard troops in a cowardly ambush-style attack, leaving them in critical condition. Just blocks from the White House, the gunman was lying in wait before rounding the corner at 17th and I. I'll tell you where I was. You were probably in one of the processing facilities, I would say. Well, I don't know. I don't want to guess where you were. But I'm not super familiar with the layout of DC, but I thought that the Marine barracks, where the vice president's residence, which is also the Marine barracks, isn't that on 18th and I? Isn't that right there? National Guard is deputized but no weapons. That's fucked up. Does anyone know? So, I would think 17th and I. He'll DM me. All right, yeah, I don't say it publicly. 8th and I. Okay, 8th and I. So it's further away. All right, for some reason I thought it was like 18th and I. I guess I was wrong. See, I knew there was an 8 in there, and I knew there was an I. I spy. Sorry, but Afghans are third world losers. Never good. And there are members that were in the area, they were able to come back and forth, subdue the individual, and bring him into custody. Like, I don't know. You heard 18 as well? That's what I thought it was 18th. Maybe it's 8th and I. If it's 8th and I, he's saying 8th and I'm not going to call him a lie. I have no reason not to believe him. The neighbor's dog has been howling for over an hour now. Uh-oh. That could mean an earthquake coming, Hank. Where are you at? Perp's Facebook is still up. Ramanunula Lockenwall. Really? All right, let's look. Let's look. Ramanula Lockenwall. No, this ain't the same guy. This ain't the same guy. I'll show you. This ain't the same guy. This is not the same guy. This is a skinny guy. You know what I mean? That's this guy. Not this. That's not the same guy. Majid Hassan. Words with Friends. I don't think it's the same guy. But it looks like the page has been like scrubbed. Hmm. So we'll jump to this because this is some other local reporting. I was watching a video on the scene where a police officer ordered the cameraman back an extra block to 16th. Let me call the dogs in. No problem. Hello, Mr. K. Great to see you. It was just a half wolf and spoiled by the neighbor. Okay. He became Americanized, obese. It's possible. All that snap, maybe. Yeah, it seems like a Scrabble hand. Yeah, a winning Scrabble hand. So let's see here. 2 National Guard members shot just blocks away from the White House in targeted attack. Let's see. Oh, really? You can skip this ad in 13 seconds, 12 seconds. Tell me skip it now.
We want to go right back to that breaking news alert that we have been following since the top of this newscast. West Virginia Governor Patrick Morrisey posting on social media the 2 National Guard members from the West Virginia National Guard were shot in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, so we want to check in with our Charlie Roth, who is in the newsroom, has been checking on a lot of things, calling a lot of people. What are you hearing now, Charlie?
We've been receiving updates from Governor Patrick Morrisey, who's been posting on social media platform X with the latest information that we have from him is that 2 National Guardsmen were shot in Washington, D.C. By the White House. This is the latest statement that Governor Patrick Morrisey's posted. He says that both of those National Guardsmen are from West Virginia, but there are conflicting reports about their condition, and the suspected gunman is also wounded. We'll keep you posted as soon as we have more information. The West Virginia National Guard has been in D.C. since August as part of President Donald Trump's efforts to address crime in the city, and we have reached out to the governor's office, both Senator Capito and Justice, as well as the West Virginia National Guard. And the West Virginia National Guard says they are unable to provide more info at this time, but we will keep you posted as soon as we get any more information.
All right, Charlie, thanks a lot. And yeah, let us know if we need to go back to you throughout the hour here.
Yeah, right now the governor's office has been the clearinghouse of any and all information. As Charlie mentioned, the Guard's not saying anything.
Yeah.
Everything is being deferred to the governor's office. And at the top of this newscast, if you happen to tune in, you heard us say that both Guard members had died. But then the governor's office pulled back on that and said we're receiving conflicting information. As soon as we get any new updates from the governor's office, we'll let you know right away. And also, of course,
we've got a juice.
No. So, 2 West Virginia National Guard members deployed were shot. Kash Patel and Mary Bowser said they were hospitalized in critical condition. Suspect was in custody. He was also shot, and wounds were not believed to be life-threatening. 2 law enforcement officials and a person familiar with the matter says the suspect was believed to be an Afghan national who entered in 2021. I mean, I hate to say it, but I said something. I don't know if you guys remember. About a week or so ago, I don't know if it was on this show or when I was on Future Conflict, I said that Thanksgiving was going to be, something was going to happen. They're already trying to blame it on Trump. Oh, yeah, they're trying to. Yeah, that reporter Charlie made it sound like the White House shot the guardsmen. I said that too. They were shot by the White House. So the White House shot them, yes. Too bad about the perp's injuries. Yeah, too bad. Where's the Seattle Times has a story stating the perp was granted asylum in April of 2025. No, I don't think so. Because here we go. Who is Ramanullah Lakawalawana? The suspect in the shooting, and this is going to be this is going to probably be like a puff piece because this is Newsweek. You know what I mean? And Newsweek sucks. So, despite the suspect in the shooting of 2 National Guard members has been identified as Ramanullah Lakanwal by law enforcement. He's an Afghan national who entered in 2021, according to reports. No motive. No motive. I mean, didn't they say he yelled Aloha Snack Bar? Wouldn't that be a motive? I thought the VP's residence was at the Naval Observatory, not the Marine Barracks. You been thinking about getting a juicer? Isn't that the lake from Dirty Dancing? Was that Lake Titicaca or something like that? I think the barracks, though, isn't the barracks and the Naval Observatory like right next to each other? Like the barracks are across the street from the Naval Observatory? The Afghan national entered in 2021, according to reports. No vote has been given, and the National Guard members were critically injured. President Trump and multiple state and federal leaders have issued statements condemning the violence. Why it matters. The shooting highlights an ongoing security concerns in the nation's capital, especially amid the heightened Guard deployment following Trump's order earlier this year. As a result of the attack, the Department of Defense announced an additional 500 members would be deployed to D.C. I would have just invoked the Insurrection Act to say, oh, well, you're killing guardsmen. I guess it's an insurrection. No. Lakawa is an Afghan national who moved to the U.S. in 2021. He entered the country under Operation Allies Welcome during the administration of President Sleepy Joe Biden, according to Fox News, which also reported that the suspect overstayed his visa and was in the country illegally. Gunther Eagleman, it says, breaking the news is calling for Trump to withdraw National Guard troops from deployment due to the increased risk of another attack. Fuck that. That's called surrender. What's this? I can't be the only one hoping he survives. I'd much rather spend the rest of his days in Gitmo. Well, he won't go to Gitmo. He'll go to a federal supermax in Colorado. Let me see what Gundam Zig's got here. If it's something good. All right. We'll jump back to that story about him. So, thank you, Gundam Zig. From a law enforcement source, the Afghan national, born in '96, armed with a revolver, ambushed a female guardsman, shooting her in the head, and a male guardsman shot multiple times. They never saw it coming. Both guardsmen were armed. A major in the National Guard who was unarmed and doing his spot checks was in the block, heard the shots, turned to see the shooter who spotted him, took cover behind a truck. The suspect came for the major, who pulled out his pocket knife and bravely took on the suspect, who was reloading his revolver. The major began stabbing the suspect in the head. Another guardsman in the area who was armed then drew his pistol and shot the suspect twice, once in the leg and once in the buttocks. The buttocks. I was shot in the buttocks. The major stated that when the suspect began shooting, he heard him shout, Allahu Akbar. So I guess there's a motive. I would never reward a dog for howling. 2 hours old, I think. Okay. There's more. We were trying to confirm if the suspect, an Afghan national, was an interpreter because he has a Department of Defense record. And again, we're trying to confirm the suspect has a home address in Washington State. Why are we terrorists allowed in the country? He worked for an NGO, Ramalama, coordinator, Eastern Region, Coast Province, Afghanistan. 11 years experience as humanitarian aid worker. So this is the guy's Facebook here. This was not the same Facebook. Yeah, this is not the same Facebook. That I looked up. It's not because you're Muslim. It's because you're a criminal, anti-Semite, anti-American, pro-terrorist, and racism. All right, so let's get back to this. Okay. CNN reported that he lives in Washington State. NBC saying that the last known location before the attack was Bellingham, Washington. Well, I mean, Washington is like rampant with communists and Antifa, so maybe they're involved. No further details about his home or residence were immediately available. What to know about the Afghan resettlement program? More than 70,000 Afghans were brought into the United States in 2021 through the Biden's evacuation and resettlement program, part of a broader Afghan-born population that has grown to nearly 200,000 nationwide. Looks like we got about 200,000 people that we can get the fuck out the country. Only a fraction of those were protected under TPS. Biden initially designated Afghanistan for TPS in May 2022 and extended it to September 2023. The Trump administration announced the termination in May, concluding that Afghanistan was safe enough for return. That's right, send him back. He's a product of USAID NGO. Yeah. The move puts roughly 9 to 11,000 at risk of losing legal status. 30 watching, and I'm the only one flapping digital gum. Sad, ghetto, sad. The Quran does say kill the infidel. Yeah. Oh, you had to put jam jams on the doggos. Oh, that's good. Now, what to know about the shooting? On Wednesday, 2 members of the West Virginia National Guard were shot. The shooting generated immediate lockdowns at the White House. Condition red, downgraded to condition orange. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone, and God bless you all. Thank you, Pam Graham. Sorry, can't DM me. You can't? Why not? I live in Western WA, and you can send me an email, Joe, if you want. Just jimtellsyou@duck.com. jimtellsyou@duck.com. Or a judge will dismiss it. Seems to be a trend. Yeah, probably. Sounds like the neighbor's home. The dog quit howling. You live in Western Washington, and ICE needs to come here. We have so many illegals. I think we are darker blue in California. Oof. So he was shot, arrested, and is being treated for his injuries, according to officials. Both were transported. The identities of National Guard members have not been released. Both were transported to area hospitals where they're described as being in critical condition. The shooting also resulted in a temporary halt of flights at Reagan. Wow. Included a medevac helicopter were conducted near the White House. Oh, no. So while there was air traffic operations. Okay. I'm driving. Hi, guys. Well, Rachel Boone, don't text and drive. Don't. We can feel you. Yes. Yeah. That's right. JimTellsYou@duck.com is my email address if anyone wants to email me. Yes, we sure need to bring ICE here in Washington State. So yeah, Trump wrote and he said he's going to have their back and this guy's going to pay. And how many people were injured in the shooting? 2 members of the Virginia National Guard, West Virginia National Guard, were critically injured. The suspect was also harmed. They did raid Seattle the other day and busted the drug cartel. See, I thought when this happened, my immediate thought was cartel. The cartels are hitting back. That's what I thought. But I was wrong. Apparently. Last you heard, both had passed, praying it's a rumor. Originally, they said it. I mean, I'm just going to tell you, like, getting shot at point blank range in the head, generally speaking, is not survivable. Usually, unless unless it was like a real, but I don't know. Shouldn't say that. We're now receiving what people are saying this. So here it goes. We are now receiving conflicting reports about the condition of the 2 Guards members and will provide updates once we receive more complete information. Christy Noem said, please join me in praying. Gavin Newscomb said there must be zero tolerance for violence of any kind. Really? Huh. You guys are all talking about violence. You're telling the military to have a coup. What are you talking about? The shooting of National Guards was horrific and unacceptable. And they're praying. What happens next? The MPD and federal agencies will continue to investigate. What's a federal crime? It happened on federal property. So, D.C. is a federal jurisdiction. So, the feds are going to take it. The cartel is here in central and eastern Washington, big time. Yakima. Is it Yakima or Yakima? Yeah. Everyone knows we need ICE. Yeah, probably brain dead set. Yeah, more than likely they could still have a heartbeat. They might have them on, life support, looking to try and see if they could save them, type of thing. To see stuff like that, who knows? I mean, I pray that they survive and pull through. But Yakima, okay, Yak, all right. Shootings of the Guard members could prompt renewed scrutiny and debate over the ongoing deployments. Why would there be scrutiny on deployments? Somebody fucking tried to murder them. And so does that mean they're needed less? Because if somebody is willing to walk up and shoot armed National Guards people, what do you think they're going to do to unarmed civilians? Huh? That is retarded. Yeah. And this is what we were talking about, billboards urging National Guardsmen to refuse orders from Trump sprout up around the country. Yes, this group that's paying for these billboards is connected to the Seditious Six. A left-wing group is putting up billboards in high-crime cities where Trump deployed the guard, telling the military that this is not what they signed up for and encouraging them to refuse unlawful orders. Oh, yeah, they are so fucking stupid. Yes, they are. They thought J6 was bad. Wait till the jihadis take over the Capitol. Win Without War, a self-described diverse network of activists and national organizations working for progressive foreign policy, launched its billboard campaign in Washington, D.C., and then expanded to Chicago, Memphis, and military bases, Fort Bragg and Camp Lejeune. One of the billboards asked, did you go to airborne just to pull security for ICE? You went to the military to do whatever the fuck you're told to do. The job is whatever they say the job is. Like some people were complaining that, the National Guard's just been picking up garbage. Dude, anytime, anybody that's served in the military, anytime you're not doing something in particular, there's nothing to do, it's called you're policing the grounds, picking shit up. That's what you do. I mean, hell, at times when it was really bored, we were given our toenail clippers and told to go outside and trim the grass. Yeah, mill about smartly. Yeah. In Olympia, the capital, we pay 10% sales tax. There's free buses for homeless. Yes, Washington is communist. Look up the Seattle mayor. Yeah, Millie had them wearing heels. We often raked acorns. Dude, we literally took our toenail clippers and cut the grass with toenail clippers. Mop up the rainwater. Yeah, I mean, dude, seriously. I mean, people don't realize the militaries. They would have you dig a hole and then say, "All right, now put the dirt back." 9/11, they flew planes into buildings within the U.S. worse than bombing Pearl Harbor. Went through World War II, and we're still dealing with them. Yeah. What a terrible command. Yeah. Oh my God, I forgot about mill about smartly. Yeah. Yeah, these fucking people. The website instructs service members to get Win Without War's resources on their personal devices using Proton Mail Signal or a VPN. The resources include veteran legal organizations aimed at sharing guidance on refusing orders. Social media users drew similarities from the billboards to the videos made by the Democrat senators. Yeah, they're all talking. This is how you get them. If you can get them, communicating with these people doing this, that's how you get them. Yeah, discipline weeds out the weak. It does. We want to speak directly to the members of the military. That's where they have a problem. That's where they broke the law. They're not allowed to speak directly to the military. If there was an issue with an illegal order, they should take it up with Trump. They should take it up with people. I love this channel. I love this channel too. Yeah. I bet they're funded by Soros. Oh yeah, I guarantee they're funded by Soros. Oh. The press release from the organization explains that static billboards were put up around the country following the deployment of National Guard in the city. The unprecedented deployment. No, it's not unprecedented. The Tennessee Army National Guard, you joined to serve your community. What are you doing in Memphis? Serving the community. When a gunman opened fire near the White House, leaving them critically wounded, the animal who shot them is also severely wounded. So that's that story. So I don't know. I don't know if there's any more breaking news on it. Let me just look real quick just to see if there's any breaking news. Well, there's this. I'm going to show this just because. Just because I want to. It's my show. Members of the National Guard were spotted praying together outside a D.C. hospital where their fellow soldiers are fighting for their lives. prayers. SB says, I was in the Seabees for a while. About the worst thing we had to do was be instructed on how to operate heavy equipment. I was in a DD. About the worst I had to do was be trained on admin duties. I don't want him to die because his family will view him as a martyr and think he's going to get us 72 very young, inexperienced girls. They don't specify. They could be like, they don't have to be women even. They could be like virgin goats, right? That's what our country needs, more prayers. The National Guard shooter has been identified as Ramal, whatever, an illegal Afghan who entered the U.S. Reportedly yelled Allahu Akbar. Maybe that is a picture of the guy. Maybe he just did gain a lot of weight. I don't know. Guy looked a lot bigger than this in the picture of him sitting on the gurney. National Guard's been identified as Afghan national per CNN. I didn't want to. FBI investigates the shooting of the two members. All right. Well, here's what Secretary of War had to say.
After those meetings, myself and my team were notified that 2 National Guardsmen had been shot in Washington, D.C., critically wounded. The shooter shot in a cowardly, dastardly act targeting the best of America, heroes willing to serve in Washington, D.C., serve for people they don't know and they've never met because they love their country and their capital and their community. They were willing to do dangerous things others were not because they love their fellow Americans. Someone decided to turn that into targeting National Guardsmen. That will only stiffen our resolve. We will never back down. We will secure our capital. We will secure our cities. In fact, this happened just steps away from the White House. It will not stand. And that's why President Trump has asked me, and I will ask the Secretary of the Army to the National Guard, to add 500 additional troops, National Guardsmen, to Washington, D.C. This will only stiffen our resolve to ensure that we make Washington, D.C. safe and beautiful. The drop in crime has been historic. The increase in safety and security has been historic. But if criminals want to conduct things like this, violence against America's best, we will never back down. President Trump will never back down. That's why the American people elected him. America and our warriors, our National Guardsmen, are strong. And so we're following this very closely. We're getting information rapidly. And I mentioned the faith of this country, the Christian faith, the prayers. I would ask for prayers for our National Guardsmen.
Excuse me, Mr.
Appeals to heaven for our National Guardsmen, for their families, on bended knee as a War Department, as a nation.
Excuse me.
We will never back down.
Excuse
We think about them right now.
Wow. That's how I feel. And then thank you, Lisa, for $10. With that $10, folks, that puts us at $60 until the first additional hour, and only $10 away from Bellavision. What do you know? We're like $10 away from Bellavision only. Just $10 away from Bella. And she is here. I didn't let my grandson steal her. I told him, no, the people need to see Bella if they pay to see Bella. And she's got to be here. So suffer, little guy. Go to bed without her and cry. No, I told her to go. She turned around and came back. There's nothing I can really do about that. No, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I really do. Hopefully one day soon we can call the fuckwad fertilizer. They need to find every translator Biden brought here and post their addresses so Americans can know where they are. Yeah, well, that rhymed. Jim, I know I was all over the place in the email, but really don't know how much I can put in there. You can put anything you want in there. I won't share it with anybody. That's some fucked up shit. I read it real quick. Well, but I just breezed through it. But yeah, Bella ain't no low price hoe. Pay up. Don't be cruel, Jim. I'm not cruel. I love my grandson. I do anything for him, but he needs to go to sleep. And he would have fell asleep anyway. And the Bella's going to run out of the room. And this whole thing. And he likes to do this thing. He likes to play games where he'll get her into the bed like normally. He'll get her into the bed with him, and then she'll get out, and then he'll be like, let her out so that he can get treats for her to get her back into bed. And I think that's kind of like what happened where the entire container of treats he gave to the dog. Because he's like, oh, here, I'll just keep you in here with me. They do that for sex offenders. Why not jihadists? Yeah, they should, actually. I never thought about that, but yeah, after Chucky Yogurt was talking about effing goats, yeah, this guy might want 72 kids as in baby goat kids. Isn't that what they call baby goat as a kid? They were legit Afghans, but the majority were straight pieces of shit. Yeah. Well, that's what I think. I think a lot of the people that actually came in under Biden, they weren't the people that actually worked with us. They were like, they know, and the other people are saying, no, that's not. Those are those people, like straight up people that worked with the Taliban that got let in. What I read. Now we saw this Trump speech. Here's Kash Patel, which.
Please send your prayers to those brave warriors who are in critical condition and their families. They are here serving our country. They are here protecting everyday Americans and citizens around the world in our nation's capital. They are the heroes of this day, and we must remember them on this day and every day, and their families and the sacrifice they have made. Please send your prayers.
I know what you're saying now. All right. I don't know either, because that's DuckDuckGo, and it's supposed to be encrypted, but I don't know if it is or not. I don't know. You never know. All right. Let's we'll get on to the next story. If anything else pops up, if more news breaks about this, if anybody sees anything new, if you want to let me know in the chat, and I'll go back to it. If some news breaks about the condition of the guardsmen, or any more information about the scumbag fuckwad fertilizer fuckwad, we'll go back. Oh, not my email, yours. Okay, never mind then, Joe. Never mind. Breaking news: the Fannie fiasco is over. The Georgia Prosecuting Attorney's Council has moved to dismiss the entire case. Right here. It comes down the state through Peter J. Scalendius, District Attorney Pro Temp. After a thorough examination and considering all the applicable statutory and case law and prior submission to the jury, the state hereby moves for a nollie pros. Means they're not going to prosecute the case. And to serve the interests of justice and promote judicial finality. So, police briefs might as well be done by pastors, nothing factual. Hey, look at this, Dark Sage. Democrats now, Trump's an evil racist who says mean things. Also, Democrats, well, you see, Woodrow Wilson was bad, but he misspoke when he said he hated blacks. It's not his fault. It happened. He was bullied by Roosevelt and Taft into it. And he's not mean to resegregate the government. Yeah. Do we have to bring up what Johnson said? LBJ, Lyndon Baines, what he said? Because that was a lot closer in time. And that's, like they always try to talk about this big switch that happened, yet no one could ever point to me when it happened and who switched. It's just some nebulous thing. At some point between, 1865 and 2025, there's been a switch. Oh, Hank's going off to Dreamland. All right. Have a good night. Thank you for being here. Oh, no. No. What happened? Damn it. Oh, here it is. And by the way, Trump and every co-defendant who did not enter a plea deal is eligible for a record restriction. That's like an expungement of an arrest record. Yeah, so that means I closed the tab, so I had Strom Thurmond switched. That's the big switch. Yeah, one guy. I'll say this for what it's worth. Back in society, that's how it was. I do blame McKinney for being an imperialist. No, would have supported it. Probably not. Do I blame the founders for having slaves? No. Was that wrong? Yes, absolutely. It was back when society was. Well, I got to remember at the time of the founding of America, slavery was commonplace throughout the world. Slavery on the continent of Africa still exists today and has been ongoing on that continent for hundreds of thousands of years. That's exactly what Johnson said. I'll have those voting Democrat for 200 years. Yeah. So I wonder how that lawyer, what was her name? The fat lawyer lady, that was a crybaby and crying and everything and pled guilty. And Jenna Ellis, that's right. And she took all the money and said she was going to fight and then took the money and then settled and pled guilty. And now she's screwed. She's stuck with the guilty plea. Africans still enslave other Africans, and for many more horrible reasons than just labor. Yes. Yeah. Easily half of the world still uses slaves. Population-wise, yeah. Congratulations to my friend and fellow MK True Crime contributor, Ashley Merchant. She will go down in the annals of American legal history as one of the greatest defense victories of all time. This exemplifies the true meaning of zealous advocacy. That's right. If it wasn't for this one woman, Ashley Merchant, she's an absolute rock star. She managed to navigate the waters when it was time to do it and defeat, this guy right here, defeated this guy. Do you go to a cabin with Miss Willis? Look at this.
Did you go to a cabin with Miss Willis ever?
Ever?
Ever.
This actually happened.
No.
Did you go to?
This actually happened. Boob cam, the good old days. Ashley is a badass. Yes, she is. Egypt was built with slaves. I always laugh when people say, well, McKinley was imperialist and he was bad, but forgetting back the guys like Brian were also a hardcore imperialist. Yeah. No, we're great meme, definitely. It's easier to name countries that don't have slaves, yet we're still beaten over the head by my granny's granny was a slave. Well, when you look at just numbers of the slaves, North America, the United States, whatever, North America, had far less slaves brought to it from Africa than the Caribbean, South America. I don't think Mexico had. I know Mexico had slaves brought from Korea, if I'm not mistaken. They were called like Anakin or something like that from Korea, but I don't know if they had that many. I don't know. I don't think they. Yeah, I think the main, like the Portuguese, I think brought a bunch into Brazil. I don't know about. Phil and Ashley have a show on the Megyn Kelly Network now. Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, Fulton County DA Fannie Willis must face accountability for her clear corruption and unlawful weaponization of her office against President Trump and his supporters. She severely harmed a lot of good people with her bogus prosecutions for non-crime of objecting to a presidential election, which is allowed under the Electoral Count Act of 1887 and the First Amendment. That's why Democrats didn't face charges for objecting to Republican wins in 1968, 2000, 2004, and 2016. Yeah. Penny Willis took our country to the brink. She belongs in prison. The case against Donald Trump, George, is officially dead. The prosecutor who took over recently has moved to drop it. Judge McAfee has granted the motion. Of course he did. And she ain't the only one. These two top of the list, both are Republicans. Yeah, these two guys. Yeah. I think Kemp had ambitions on being president, and them ambitions is gone now. Yeah. Do we know why any referral for potential charges has already been made to the criminal section of the Civil Rights Division? I suppose a private citizen or victim could lodge the request. When is this going to happen? That's not Fannie. Georgia prosecutors drops Fannie's RICO case against Trump. How effed is Atlanta? Fannie went big after she was exposed. I hate to say it, but we do have, like, people say stuff. We're talking about Minnesota and Minneapolis and about the tribal stuff, how you had like a tribal dispute. That's why Jacob Fry was able to win, because one tribe of Somalis doesn't like the other tribe that Fatah or whatever guy is in. But we have tribal politics all over the place, you know. And look, Atlanta, that's tribal politics. It wouldn't matter what she did. Because of the color of her skin, the people are going to vote for her. That's just the way it is. You know, look at how's Maxine Waters. How's Congressman Johnson? I think his name's like Ron Johnson or whatever. Congressman, or is it Ron Johnson? I think his name. The one who thought that Guam was going to tip over if they put more Marines on Guam, it was going to flip over. The island will flip over. How is that guy still getting fucking elected? You know. The new Georgia prosecutor who was chosen to replace Fannie Willis in a RICO case against Trump has dropped the case. In August 2023, Fannie Willis indicted President Trump and 18 co-defendants. Wow. So like right after he announced he was running for president, she indicted him. That's weird. Willis hit Trump and the co-defendants with RICO charges. Well, she loves them RICO charges. Maxine doesn't even live in her district. Maxine is beautiful. Nathan Wade was paid more than $600K as a special prosecutor while he was whining, dining, and 69ing Fannie Willis on lavish vacations. Last year, after a fierce court battle, Willis, what you talking about, Willis? That's what Hank Johnson, that's his name, Hank Johnson was worried. I knew it was Johnson, but Hank Johnson was worried Guam would take over. Last year, after a fierce court battle, Fannie Willis and her entire office was disqualified. We should have, the odor of mendacity is the greatest thing that was said about this case. The fact that nobody, at any point in time when she was on the stand and was doing all that stuff, that someone didn't just go, what you talk about, Willis? That would have been great. Tribe is not used here in the U.S. except RE natives and reservations. Well, I disagree. Everyone has tribes. But by tribal, Paul, I said tribal. You know, there's different tribes. You know, especially Africa is loaded with tribes. Yeah, with her backwards dress on, looking like she just got done with Nathan. Yeah. An appeals court did not throw out the charges. However, Willis and her office have no authority to proceed. So Fannie Willis had an illicit affair with Nathan Wade. That's still going on. I don't think you should say had. You should say has, because it's still going on. Somalis tend to have clans. Well, that's what I mean. Clans, tribes. What's the difference? Clans, tribes. It's like a tribe named Quest. And then last month, Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee gave the prosecuting attorney's office 14 days to assign a new prosecutor. Just hours before the deadline, the new prosecutor entered an appearance as District Attorney Pro Temp. Thanks to Hank, Guam was secured, ships were moved, and now it won't sink. Someone got a video recently of them. Alex. Yeah, there's a video of them in LAX. There's also a video of them showing up to when her daughter got pulled over for driving without a license or suspended license and no insurance. And I guess the FBI is here in Bellington raiding that murderer's place. I wonder if there's a cell here in Washington. Wouldn't doubt it. So many illegals. We'll be safe. We have tribes. Other countries, yes. We have teams. Okay. The tribes. There are tribes in the U.S. They're not They're generally speaking, they're people like newer people that come in. They have their tribe, their clan comes in, get a whole area. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I mean, some people would consider the Palestinians to be a tribe. You know, I've repeatedly heard people refer to Jewish people as a tribe. You know, as being a member of the tribe. You know, I think it's like shorthand. Yeah, we have tribal people. Yeah. Tribalism exists. Ghetto, modern, historic are all products of that. Yeah. I'm not trying to be I'm not trying to be difficult or play word games. I'm just trying to speak plainly as possible, without getting in trouble. What's to say? I had to switch to my iPhone to chat. Can't do it on my back. Uh-oh. There's a joke there, but I won't go there. On Wednesday, Scandalakis dropped his case. Scandalakis. I don't know. Anyway, the criminal conduct alleged in the Judicial Circuit's prosecution was conceived in Washington, D.C., not the state of Georgia. The federal government is appropriate venue for this prosecution, not the state of Georgia. Oof. Wow. 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 Oh, no, I was attempting just to clarify for the chat. I got what you were saying. I wasn't trying to be... Yeah. Karen's like, okay, other name used? Okay, what do I know? It's... okay, the Canadians. The Canadians are very tribal. Indeed, if Special Counsel Jack Smith, with all the resources at his disposal after reviewing the evidence and considering the U.S. Supreme Court's decision, along with the years of litigation such a case would inevitably entail, concluded that prosecution would be fruitless, then I too find that despite the available evidence pursuing the prosecutions of all these involved, essentially federal grounds would be equally unproductive. President Trump celebrated the decision as the corrupt Fannie witch hunt against me and other great Americans have been dismissed in its entirety. This illegal, unconstitutional, un-American hoax was perpetrated against our nation by Fannie and her low IQ lover. He's a low IQ lover. She can get him for the cheap. She's got no other. When she wants the brother butter. Please read Kelly B. content about Maxine. What? I didn't see it. Where's it at? She said Maxine is beautiful. I don't see anything else. I had to switch to my iPhone to chat. Joe's here with the rally. Whoa. Thank you. With that $5, folks, that puts us at just $55 away from the first additional hour and only $5 away from Bellavision. So we're only $5 away from Bellavision. 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 What did I say? I don't know. That's what I'm looking for, trying to find it. Ambiguity is one of my issues, so there's that. Oh, no, we're fine. Thinking about Little Richard. Oh, Little Richard. Oh, wop bop a loo bab a lap bam boom tutti fruity. Oh, Rudy, is that what you're talking about? Come on, spend some time on the res, and you'll come to see natives that are tribal aside from the ones that are imported. Yeah, that's a loud drag queen per Kelly. Oh, okay. All right, now I get it. I must have missed that. I must have missed it. Woof, he says. Oh, okay. All right, maybe I'm... Maybe I just missed it. Maybe it just went over my head. I missed it. I apologize. So, already long tall Sally. She's real sweet. She got everything that Uncle John needs. Oh baby, yeah, baby, ooh baby, we're having us some fun tonight. Prosecute the former president of the United States of America in a charade. Blatantly lied about everything, including a beautiful love affair and ridiculous high amounts of money she paid him. Wow. The deranged Democrats did all they could to viciously attack me and my supporters and our MAGA movement for telling the truth. The 2020 election was rigged and stolen. I agree. And they committed the crime after crime as they weaponized our law enforcement and justice against the honest, loving Americans. We fought back and we won in both courts. Politically and historic country-saving landslide victory on November 5th, 2024. And we have to hold those responsible who attempted to destroy our legal system and our nation itself. They tried to use it to silence us and imprison political opponents. So basically, he was her sugar mama. No, she was his sugar mama. Yeah. Lots said in chat. I can't keep up. Me neither. She was his sugar mama. Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm starting to see something where stuff is posted like it's not coming through on StreamYard for some reason. Oh, work it, Jim. Oh, thank you. Oh, with that, we hit Bellavision. Yeah, with that, we hit the Bellavision for the evening. We're at Bellavision now. What do you know? Bella's here. Yeah. And she's going to. Thank you so much for the 10. Okay. And it's D with the different. Let me get Bella fixed up. There we go. There's Bella chilling. My TV chat is way messed up, but the phone is fine. Yeah, it's something. It's Bella time. What did that say? 55? So now we're 45 away. 45 away from a first additional hour. Bella time. Elon Musk and any sufficiently advanced magic is indistinguishable from technology? Probably. So Breitbart has the same story here. Prosecutor drops 2020 Georgia election interference case. Same thing from the New York Post. New prosecutor just declines to pursue it. And then this story I saw, so I wanted to bring this up because a judge gives the Justice Department a day to detail.
To follow the law with maximum transparency while protecting victims.
The Justice Department has a month to release these files, and Attorney General Pam Bondi was pressed about what will come out and when, but she was non-committal about what to expect.
We will continue to follow the law with maximum transparency while protecting victims.
The resolution Congress passed allows Bondi to withhold information about victims, obscene material, or evidence that could compromise national defense or foreign policy. However, she has to report anything withheld. This matter could be complicated or delayed as President Trump directed the Justice Department to investigate Epstein's ties to prominent banks and Democrats. Earlier this year, the Justice Department said it did not have evidence to open new Epstein-related investigations, but changed course last week at the president's direction. The files could be part of that active probe and not released because of it. If the files are not published, a law professor tells us that Congress could try to hold the Justice Department in contempt of Congress, but that is unlikely because the DOJ would have to file charges against itself. At the White House, I'm Rachel Hersheimer.
That would be retarded, wouldn't it? You know, if they try to say that they're going to hold the Justice Department in contempt of the Justice Department. All right. We go, wow, we had another 10 come in from Lisa. Thank you, Lisa. 35 till an hour. Thank you so much. And she's right. It's just $35 now. Just $35 away from the first additional hour. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, I don't know what I just did, but I was trying to answer you and all of a sudden it said you were blocked. I fixed it now. Thank you, Lisa. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you got to watch out, especially on your phone. I'm going to tell you guys right now, on an iPhone, and you're doing chat stuff, a lot of times you got to really watch. It'll do stuff. It'll get weird. It'll get weird. Judge gives the Department of Justice a day to detail what trial materials they want released. Oh, seriously? A federal judge in Manhattan is demanding more information from the Department of Justice as he weighs its request to unseal the records from Jeffrey Epstein's longtime confidant, Ghislaine Maxwell. Paul A. Engelmeyer on Tuesday ordered the Department of Justice to tell him what materials it plans to publicly release that were subject to secrecy orders. The deadline is noon on Wednesday, which was today. Engelmeyer's order came after the Justice Department on Monday asked for his permission to release grand jury records, exhibits, and discovery materials in the Maxwell case. Yeah, yours does weird stuff like that. You got to be really careful, especially when you're scrolling. If you're scrolling on chat, you'll scroll on an iPhone and it'll your finger will double hit something. You'll block people and shit will happen. You know, it's really bad if you're a mod. You got to oh shit, you got to go back. Sorry, I blocked you on accident. And so, You're so sick of hearing about the Epstein files. The UP has more to worry about, like keeping the house. Yeah. I'm sick of it too. Just put it all out there, man. Put it all out there. That's what I say. Screw it. Engelmeyer said the government lawyers must file a letter on the case docket describing the materials it wants to release in sufficient detail to meaningfully inform victims what it plans to make public. Maxwell was convicted in 2021 by a federal grand jury of sex trafficking for helping recruit some of Epstein's younger underage victims. She is serving 20 years. The Supreme Court rejected Ghislaine Maxwell's appeal. Epstein, a millionaire money manager known for socializing with celebrities, politicians, and billionaires, allegedly killed himself, maybe. We should say allegedly. You notice how they don't say allegedly there. Engelmeyer has already notified victims and Maxwell that they can respond next month to request to release materials before he decides whether to grant it. So he gave them 1 day to respond, and then he's not going to answer them for a month? Was seeking the court's approval to release materials to comply with the Epstein Files Transparency Act passed by Congress and signed into law. It calls for release of grand jury and discovery materials in the case. The request, along with the identical one for grand jury transcripts from Epstein's case, was among the first public indications that the Justice Department was trying to... What? Bella's staying in here with me. You go to bed. Bella will come in there when it's bedtime. Come on. Oh. Hold on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Bedtime. man. The dog has decided to bring a squeaky ball that flashes. So the request, along with identical one for grand jury transcripts, among the first indications Justice Martin was trying to comply with the Transparency Act, which requires us to release the Epstein-related files in a searchable format. Kid cam for 20 minutes. No. Bella takes over. Yeah, sorry about that. Bella needs to turn the mic on. Yeah. We'll see what happens. Engelmeyer did not preside over the trial, but was assigned a case after the trial judge, Allison Nathan, was elevated to the Second Circuit Court of Appeals. Discovery material was subject to secrecy orders, likely to include victim interviews. Other materials. Engelmeyer said in an order that maximum of victims respond by December 3rd. Pittsburgh Gazette, same thing. Judge wants them to give details about what they want to release. And then this story, next story over here, we got Donald Trump could offer asylum to Britons prosecuted for views on immigration and gender. That's right. Donald Trump is talking about making England a sanctuary, like a place where people can claim asylum. Stop. What? Come on, it's bedtime, dude. What are you doing? You're killing me. You're killing me here. Come on.
I want to sit on your lap.
You want to sit on my lap?
Yeah.
All right, sit over here. All right.
I want your teeth.
What?
I want your teeth.
You know, you can't have my tea. Come on.
I'm silly.
Senior U.S. officials have repeatedly voiced concerns over the state of free speech in Britain. The Trump administration considered offering politics asylum to Britain prosecuted for allegedly thought crimes. White House officials are assessing whether to extend refugee status to Britons targeting or expressing their views or holding silent demonstrations outside of abortion clinics. Stop it. Yeah, I know, too old for a binky, but he won't give them up.
Hey, is that Bella?
That's Bella. You see her there? Yeah.
She's laying down.
She's laying down. A source close to the decision-making process told The Telegraph there are some people inside the administration that are actively scouting for cases. You gotta go. Come on, your mom is calling you. Go. Go. Stop it. You gotta go. This is super funny. It's very funny. Yeah. I'm gonna have to cancel the show tonight. All right. I'm sorry. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. I'm sorry. I gotta take care of this. So I'm sorry. I'll see you guys tomorrow.